Oh my God, your poor dad.
You should
All
say
right,
it.
welcome back to Your Poor Dad. You can't choose your sisters, but you can choose your podcast. So thank you for joining us and being the fourth Brant sister.
Thank
Hi.
you so much.
Thanks, guys.
We're doing another remote episode. Thank you guys for bearing with us for last week. We did not put out an episode last week because A, I was traveling and it was 4th of July weekend and it just was so much crazier than I expected. And B, Romeo is still a hurt little baby.
There he is.
Yeah.
So Paige, can you explain what he's sitting in right now?
Well, no, right now he's sitting on the bed, but
Right behind
he's
him.
right behind him is a little bedside crib that
is what mothers buy.
which mothers buy for their actual human infant children.
But like, you are a mother.
I am a mother, and the thing is, Jade, you don't understand what it's been like because Baily she hasn't been sleeping in my bed in a while, but she was because with Tiger can't get too close. Well, he can get closer now, but he couldn't get too close to Roman. And so Baily would have to kind of sleep in, but she would have to be the barrier between Tiger and Roman because Roman just wanted to like cuddle with me. So then we're like, this is getting crazy. Like, this bed is not big enough for all four of us. So I got the crib to keep Roman in so then I could be the barrier. So then at least we had two humans and one dog. Yeah, in the bed and just the crib for Roman. So anyways, things have been a struggle for sure. I have not left my house.
Sure.
I haven't left my house in 3 weeks.
Like at all?
No, like not even
just to go to the
Since he's
vet.
been injured, she's only done that. She tried to take Tiger for a walk for 10 minutes, and Roman was a wreck.
And Roman couldn't handle it. And at that time, his spinal cord was so sensitive that even him stressing and like tensing was like bad for his spinal cord. So I've been I only leave my room to take him out to potty or to like change my laundry or like do some dishes. Like that's the only time I leave my room.
And she could only do that if I'm home and if I can sit with Roman. So now that I'm back at work, she can't leave.
I'm trapped in my room. So it's been a huge struggle. And I told Baily 2 days ago, I was like, I'm depressed. And she was like, why?
Why? What's going on? What's going on with you?
Why would you be depressed?
And I was like, because I haven't left the house. I feel trapped and I'm gaining a lot of weight.
Because you're going stir crazy, I'm sure.
Going stir crazy. And it's weird because I'll try to do like squats. I can't leave my room. Okay. So it's like, I'll try to do like squats.
You should just do abs in your bed.
Or something. But I'm like, that's not what my body needs to like run. Like my body just needs to run around the neighborhood. So I think we're finally getting to a point with Roman. He's able to walk more on his own. Like I still have to assist him. I have this like huge, it's almost like a body harness for him that I have to like help assist his walk. So like I hold him by the leash and he's getting better every day, but we just can't put too much pressure on it until it's like fully 3 more weeks.
My friend from Purdue, she has dachshunds, and this happened to her dachshund. And I feel like people just need to know, like, before they're getting these breeds, like the risks, because like this exact thing happened to her dachshund.
Yeah, it's crazy because what I have been anticipating with the Frenchies is like hip and back leg problems.
Yeah,
and what I did not anticipate, Roman almost severing his spinal cord. So
I've heard about the spinal cord things before.
Well, and Tiger had like slipped a disc or something, but it wasn't as severe. Like he wasn't in jeopardy of like being paralyzed. It was just like kind of like a tweak that he needed to like not put pressure on it for a while.
That
he needed to chill. And Roman, His was different.
He always has to one-up Tiger.
Well, thoughts and prayers to Romeo, our little
Because of
soul.
that, I started a new hobby. And so this is going to be a pillow, and it's inspired by Taylor Swift and Roman. If you don't know, it's going to say, "I love you, it's ruining my life." So that once that pillow's done, it will live on my bed. It will live on my bed forever. So Roman has to see it every time he lays his
Says that's
down.
my pillow.
That's my.
And then Tiger's gonna pee on it.
Yeah, of course, Tiger's gonna pee on it.
Wait, while we're on ailing Frenchies, we got an email from a sister that I just wanted to read really quick because I thought it was nice. It was like in solidarity. Okay. So she says, "Hey, Paige and Baily, I totally feel for you. My girl Dakota is a 7.5-year-old Frenchie who also has some pain and neck spasms. I totally get what you're saying about being stuck at home waiting for someone to relieve you so you can pee. Anyway, I'm at $2,000 now waiting to see on Friday next step, neurology visit and possible referral to surgery. So fingers crossed for both of our fur babies. Please pray for my Dakota. Pictures above so you can see her. She's so cute. She's a little brindle.
Color, what kind of Frenchies?
A little brindle like Tiger.
So, like, thoughts and prayers for Dakota too?
Yeah. I hope Dakota gets better. And speaking of brindle Frenchies, why didn't you tell us about little Craig?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, whenever the conversation is, you should watch Southern Charm, it was never like, by the way.
Forgot. Honestly, I should have used little Craig as more leverage to get you to watch. By the way,
he looks exactly like Tiger.
Okay, Mr. Roberts and I were at this place in Austin today. I'm sure everyone can guess where. But there's an app that lets you see who else is there. Guess who is fucking there?
Shep.
I'll show you because I took a screenshot.
Craig.
Paige.
Awesome.
I was dying. And he actually follows Mr. Roberts on Instagram. And I remember when me and Mr. Roberts first started dating, you know, like I go to his Instagram and I'm like, who else follows him? And it's like Austin Kroll follows Mr. Roberts. And I'm like, how the fuck does Austin Kroll follow you? But he's like, oh, he's just like, you know, he's in the scene. He was like trying to be cool back then. And I was like, I don't fucking know why he follows me.
That is crazy.
I know, isn't that so crazy? Wait, I want to know your thoughts on Southern Charm because did you finish?
Yeah, so we're completely caught up. I have a lot of thoughts, and basically my biggest takeaway from the latest season is it's a cast of losers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. However,
be careful because Madison and I are friends.
No, here's the thing about Madison is like I am obsessed with every outfit she wears. I think that she's so pretty. I am kind of confused. Like I wonder where her storyline's gonna go now. Yeah. You know, now that she's married and stuff. Like, yeah, that like I'm not including the Madison. I'm not including like Craig, Shep, Austin. It's like everyone. It seemed like when Cameron left, whatever season Cameron left, they started trying to like remix the cast. And they never got it right. Like there have always been people that were right every season, but as a collective group, like it hasn't been right since Cameron left.
Well, my favorite season was when all the girls were banded together at that first barbecue when it was like Naomi,
yes,
Healthy,
the season after Naomi and Craig broke up.
Yes, I love that because I think the girls on Southern Charm are some of my favorite girls to watch on Bravo because I think they're smart. They're very good at putting the guys in their place, which I think
yeah, but like Taylor really turned me off. Like
Taylor. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about Taylor. Yeah, Taylor and Olivia, like
no, Olivia and her
I like Olivia now, but her first season I did not
like her. I agree. Yeah. And I think that it was honestly, you also never gave me a trigger warning about Olivia's brother because that like happened and I was bawling my eyes out in my head. Like it was devastating.
And Taylor's brother.
I know, but
you just saw that the season where Taylor like entertains
Jade.
hooking up with Austin.
Jade.
That was the weirdest fucking thing ever.
Here's my biggest gripe with this last season. Why did nobody make it a bigger deal that Taylor sent a nude to Whitney that said, "Come one, come all"?
No, it's so weird. And she's like, "Oh, it's just like a friendly thing." I'm like, I've never once sent a nude.
And you couldn't see anything, but it's like it was
and Madison,
you were naked. And also, I mean, Madison said she saw tits and vagina. So it's like,
I love. Okay, wait. What did you think of when Madison called out Shep and Danny when she said you gave her chlamydia?
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's
bizarre. I want to know more about that.
Honestly, I am not an unbiased source here because like on Madison can kind of do no wrong in my eyes.
I know. I know that for you. And like the thing about, I have a weird, the way I view Madison is like really weird because like I don't really like her character, at least the way she was like brought in. Like I don't really like her character on the show, but I really like her, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like I don't agree with everything she does, but I just feel like I like her. Like I can't help it. And like that video of Austin when they were recording, the girls were recording Madison. He's like, Madison. He has like his like little like underwear on. He keeps like grabbing it. And and she's like, "Did you sleep with him? Did you sleep with him?" And I'm like, that's so Paige. Like to come in because they were like, she clearly was trying to get a hold of him.
No, that was me. Like that, everything about that was
like to the girl. She was like being mean to him. She was like, "Did you sleep with him?"
I also think that Southern Charm, you know, not to like poke holes in anything because I know it is reality TV, but there's things that like just don't make sense to have been real. So like I think that whole recording Austin, like that's weird and fishy. Like how did that actually happen?
No, that was the girls did that.
Girls
then, like,
that
for
were
them
in
to like come to that thing, it just doesn't feel like that would happen in real life.
What do you mean?
But that was okay. I understand what you're saying because that seems like why would people do that? But like Shep literally did that on purpose. Like Shep was like, Shep said, "Screw you, Austin. I'm gonna put these two girls that were in that video in your face."
The storyline, I could keep up with it. It was just really, that was really weird.
I think they're in the scene. I think it's something that would happen in
but
Austin.
Then I thought it was also really weird when, was it Landon and T-Rav that were on that date and that one was like, "I just need to let you know that this is real love and honey, that's your man and this is," and it's like, and they were like doubled down on it at the reunion.
You've never been out to dinner with some like crazy old lady that like comes up to you and starts like being like, "You guys are so cute together"?
No.
I guess I've never been that cute.
That's not
I'm always
neither. Overall, I really like
time. Where do you rank it with Vanderpump Rules and Summer House? Because they're kind of like the younger kids.
It's so hard because there were so many things. Wait. Let me go back to the whole like losers thing because like JT, oh my God. Like JT is the guy, let me tell you, he's the Delt that had to be there because he's like
a legacy.
He's a legacy. His parents and grandparents and great grandparents have like donated to Delt for like ever and ever and ever. And he's the one that you're like, gosh, I really hope that he's like out of town like for this frat party, but he's always at every frat party and you're just like, ugh, like he's that guy, you know?
Yeah.
What I mean? And so that the thing about Southern Charm is there was so much about it that was like triggering in a bad way and triggering in a good way. Like so much of it was just like Southern fratty.
Yeah.
And
there's also some really like yucky things too. Or it's just like, this is like what I don't like to
do. Especially in the early season.
But the thing that I get confused by with like the ranking is like I thought that probably the first like 4-ish seasons of Vanderpump were like amazing. But now technically Vanderpump as a whole, accounting for like 10 seasons worth, like I think it's lower. I think that Summer House is probably my number one.
Interesting.
And then it goes season. It like I piece seasons together from like I really liked the beginning, certain seasons from Vanderpump more, but certain other seasons from Southern Charm more,
Yeah. I think as a whole, they were ranked in my head like Vanderpump, number one, Southern Charm, then Summer House. But then Summer House got really good, but it just like
took a while.
Didn't have like staying power in my mind the way Vanderpump did. Like Vanderpump has always just been like, that's my first baby, like my first like Bravo, not my first Bravo baby, because my first Bravo baby is obviously Real Housewives of Orange County.
I think it's because
But
Summer
it's like
House
my first, like, in that
is like overall better vibes, like happiness wise, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, like it's not so sad, it's not so dark. They're not like Southern Charm can get a little too dark with like the Thomas and Catherine.
Well, and I'm sorry, it was wild that several episodes had to be cut because of like racist things. And I'm like, what were we talking about? That
they didn't even show it. They cut the whole episode.
I think there was 5 episodes that they cut, and at first,
so there was a big hole in the season.
Yeah, but then it wasn't like the first 5 episodes, or it was like 5 sporadic episodes, and then they would kind of do like a flashback to where you would be able to piece it together, like someone's plantation. Like we didn't see the episode where they took a tour on someone's plantation because everything else was said.
Yeah, I think Thomas had a plantation home.
I think it was wasn't it Catherine?
I think it was like Catherine's family's home or something. But it's just like, but that's what's crazy, because we have seen and been to some of the other plantation homes. So I'm like, what were we talking about in these episodes?
There was a cemetery for the like enslaved people that they had there, and they were just like, and there it is, and it was not like it was
like that kind of stuff,
but it felt really gross. But it wasn't,
it's just
like
really
can't believe you did
dark
that.
and heavy.
Well, I think another thing that really is so weird about Southern Charm is like I've never liked Catherine, even in her redemption era, but like I can agree she was taken advantage of by Thomas, and I can agree Ashley was absolutely satanic to her. But like everyone in Bravo, like they want this like perfect redemption arc where it's like, oh, we were so wrong about Catherine, but it's like, no, you actually weren't wrong about Catherine. She kind of fucking sucks. She just was also a victim in a shitty situation.
Yeah, my most hated, I only have 3 most hated, but my ranking of them is Thomas as number 1, Ashley as number 2, and then Catherine, because Catherine still stays on the list, even though she had, I don't even know, I mean, she had maybe a partial redemption season.
We started liking her for a little bit.
Started liking her, but we never dropped our guard, you know?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people did. Like Cameron crying
but her like starting that rumor about Cameron, and allegedly starting the rumor about Cameron and her husband, like, or her husband cheating. Wild.
Cameron's like, fuck you. I literally like vouched for you.
Yeah. Anyways, so
okay,
that's done, and then I'm all caught up on Love Island USA current season, so that's crazy.
Okay. Do you think I should watch?
I don't know. I think that it's a big commitment. There's so many episodes.
How many episodes are there?
Well, the thing is, I don't know when it ends. I think we got up to episode like 20 something, like 20
much,
something.
And they're like, just when you think it's over, here's more bombshells, and it's like they're really orchestrating a lot of drama that like wouldn't naturally, like, it is what it is. Yeah. Like, you know what you're getting into, and it's entertaining. Like, I've liked watching it.
It's entertaining. I don't know why I have no idea why Ariana's there. She does nothing, and she's only there maybe in the whole 20 something episodes that I've seen. She's been there like 5 times. She just like walks in for a set, like for anyone to think that she's a host, she's not.
It's like a minute and a half screen time that we're up to.
She walks in, she always looks hot, but like she'll like walk in like a slow-mo, she'll like blow a kiss or something, and then she'll say, all right, choose your matches, and then she pieces out. Like, it's so random. I'm like, what is her role here? I don't understand. But I like that this show is filmed. Like, I think so far we're on week like 4 or 5 or something like that. So it's like these people, I think The Bachelor's filmed in like a 2 week span or something like that. And so at least with this show, they're with each other every single day for like over a month. That's normal to start actually. If you meet someone day one, to be like, you know what, like I do like you and I want you to be my boyfriend when we get out of here. Like that's normal. You know what I mean? It's like kind of the first show I think that has a more realistic timeline instead of like a, oh, you've never seen each other before, let's get married. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I need people keep telling me I should watch, but like I just don't know if I can.
it's, I would say if you're going to do it, you turn it on while you're cleaning and you don't try to pay too much attention. Just kind of like by osmosis, let some of it start like seeping.
Absorb it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down. I mean, Real Housewives of Orange County just started. I literally almost cried the other day because I like was so happy. Like I was like, I love these girls so much. They were talking about going to the Quiet Woman, and I was just like, I love this. I love it.
Okay, well maybe.
And it just like really like it makes me like misty because this is who I've been since like 2007.
We know.
It's your Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. So when I was in the Hamptons, because the last time we talked, I was still in the Hamptons. Guess who I saw and was like, what?
I already know.
Oh, I know too.
Okay.
Okay, tell me like I don't know.
Okay, so we are going to this club. I mean, here's the thing about the Hamptons. It's like Vegas prices for everything, but like you're in like a weird beach town. That's like not a beach town that you would think like is like California beach towns. Like California beach towns are like, it feels like you're in a beach town and it's like walkable and stuff. Like everything is so fucking far, so fucking expensive. You're like trapped on the end of this island. It's like crazy. But everyone is there. Like it feels like everyone is there. So our whole group is like getting ready. We like go up to the front to like check into our table, and this girl comes up and she's small, she's blonde, she's wearing this like weird like sailor black dress, and she's like, I'm here with Tinx's table. And I look over and it's Emma Roberts. And I was like,
I love Emma Roberts.
eating it up. And, you know, like everyone else is like, doesn't give a fuck. Like they're like normal people. And I'm like, Tinx, Emma Roberts, Tinx, Emma Roberts. Like my head is just like exploding.
Well, yeah, the combo's wild.
I know it's a wild combo. I'm like, how does Tinx know Emma Roberts? How does Emma Roberts know Tinx? Whatever. And like Emma Roberts is coming to Tinx's table. Like Emma Roberts, she should be the table holder. But she was so cute, so small. But she was like shifty. Like you could just tell she was like, she had her purse next to her the whole time. So they bring us up to this like table that's like kind of on this stage by the DJ booth. And we're right next to the DJ booth. And then there's like a couple tables behind the DJ booth and then on the other side. So it's kind of like a U. And then we're sat right next to the DJ table. I'm like, where the fuck are Tinx and Emma Roberts? Like, this club is not big. Like, where did they go? All of a sudden, they walk in. They're literally at the table right next to us. And Tinx's best friend is best friends with Natalie's Petraeus' sister.
Oh.
I went up to him, and so I'm like, okay, here's my in. I'm like, oh my God, like I see you in Claire's content all the time. Are you Claire's best friend? He's like, oh, stop. We take a picture. We send it to Claire. Claire FaceTimes him immediately. She's like, shut the fuck up. Like, how are you with Jade? And then he's like showing Tinx. He's like, look, it's Claire. And Claire's like, hi, Tinx. See you later. Like, Claire's in the Hamptons with Tinx right now.
What?
She's at Surf Lodge. And she's like taking pictures. I'm like, you're 100%
with like the Toast Girls too.
Yeah. So I was like, so you're hanging out with the Toast Girls, Shannon Ford, all those people. She's like, yeah, duh, girl. Wish you were here. I was like,
same.
Yeah, same.
Same Z's.
No.
But it was just so funny. So I was like, I was waiting to kind of like say something to Tinx because I was like, should I be like, oh my God, like I like your stuff, like whatever. But she was in party mode, so I was like, I'm not gonna bother her. But I did want to like introduce her to Mr. Roberts and his business partner because like she loves hot sauce.
Yeah.
Like, so I was like, you guys should all meet. But it was just so like my brain was exploding. I was like I just get so excited seeing like literally anyone in the wild, like anyone.
No, that's kind of just like an overwhelming situation altogether.
Yeah, and I was like partying. I was like I am partying.
Like, I bet you instantly lost any like drunkenness that you had from alcohol, and you were just living on this like adrenaline high. And then all of a sudden, whenever you leave that club, you like the crash is so different, and you're just like, what happened? And then you're almost like numb.
Honestly, like not to discount Emma Roberts and Tinx's star power, it could have been anyone. Like I'm truly such a like star fucker. Like I just really I love like seeing people I know. Like even if it was somebody like oh my god, I can't even believe I forgot to tell you this. Even if it's somebody that like I just see on Instagram and I don't even really follow them, but I just know that they're on Instagram, I get excited. Like I'm just excited to see people IRL. But on our flight home from New York to Austin, everyone was on our flight. Like so many people, like all of the people we were with. Also, a couple of your guys' friends and Bailey's ex-boyfriend's friends were
Really?
Oh yeah.
All of them were on the flight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. So I was like, oh hey, like, and I like didn't really know how to introduce them to Mr. Roberts. Also, Mr. Roberts was wearing a tank top. I thought it was so. He's like, what? I was like, wearing a tank top. He's like, yeah, I'm wearing a tank top. I was like, I love that.
Cool.
Yeah, no, but he was like, yeah, I want to wear a tank top. I'm like, your skin is like touching the sea. He's like, I don't care.
Wow.
But it was funny. They came up and we like talked or whatever. And I was like, do I say this is Paige's friends or Bailey's ex-boyfriend's friends?
I wish.
This is Paige's friends.
I just said it was Paige's friend.
Oh, let's cut Bailey out of it anyway. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, wait. Have you guys? We talked about Clinton Kane and Brooke last time, right?
Yeah.
Are you guys up to date with that drama?
I honestly, I think that I don't have the mental capacity to care. What I know is that he is making TikToks to try. I'm assuming to try to like bash you. It's like
so up your alley. I don't know how you're not more invested in it.
Because there's something about this man's face. I can't look at it. And so like I can't get through the TikToks. I'm like, I skip. Like I just can't. He's coming up on my For You page. I cannot do it.
Okay. The reason why this is so up your alley is because he is such a narcissistic gaslighter. And that's what Brooke's story was. Like, it was like, look, this person, like, he isolated me. He manipulated me. He, like, brought me down to one of the lowest moments of my life. And you're like, oh, wow, that sucks. But you don't have evidence of him actually doing it. Like, but then he enters the chat with his own TikTok series. And you're like, oh, actually, if you just shut the fuck up, we would imagine what it was like to date you in our heads. But now you're proving to us every single point. And he thinks that he's like really doing something with this series. The stuff that he's doing, he's like, let me go through all the lies she lied about. One of the things she said, she's like, we got pulled over on the way to Joshua Tree. He gave a false license, and he's actually 4 years younger than I thought he was. And the car that he was driving was not even registered to him. It was registered to his friend. 2 things that she was like, wait, why? And in his response, he's like, this is what Brooke lied about. We actually got pulled over on the way from Joshua Tree. And he was like, and the car was registered in my friend's name. Like, who cares? Like, it was like, that was, he focused on that like, part. And
this is so crazy.
The actual point of the story, this is like brushed under the rug.
Yeah.
Other thing she was talking about, so like his whole story is like he lied about his mom dying. She found out that she was really alive. And people are asking Brooke in interviews, like, have you ever talked to the mom? She's like, I don't even know if she speaks English. Like, I don't think she even speaks English. She said in 2 interviews, I don't think she even speaks English. Meaning, like, how would I talk to her? She doesn't even speak the language I speak.
Yeah.
And he goes, even speak English? How offensive are you? You are so offensive. This is such a triggering statement. Trying to, like, what he's doing, and like we know because we're true crime girlies, he's trying to make her look like an unreliable witness by like pointing out like all these little things that like she got wrong, which she really didn't get wrong. She just like misspoke because she's not on the stand. She's not like on a fucking like jury stand.
And because the mom is not from America. And
yeah,
just if she's born in another country that speaks a different language, you don't assume that every person in that lives in another country that speaks another language knows English. Like, you don't assume that.
It was so crazy because it backfired on him so much. Like, the entire internet is now making fun of him, like even more than they already were. And like that's like a true narcissist right there. Like, he thought that he like really did something. What he should have done, and everyone's saying this, is like he really should have just been like, look, I fucked up. Like, I said this happened. I thought it would make me more interesting. I thought it would make my music more interesting. I don't have a relationship with my mom, so it was easier for me to kill her off in my head. Looking back, that's a fucking weird thing to do. Like, let's all move on. But he like is dying on this hill that he had this close motherly figure of one of his friends, and that person died, and that's what it was like when his mom died. But it's like, no, you literally are lying. Like, you're still lying because that's not what you meant. You said your mom died. He also said
what?
He also said his mom, because another thing that he said was he got the deed to his house in Australia, which was an 8-bedroom, huge mansion house, and he ripped it up because he doesn't care about money. And his mom owned Birkenstocks. That's how she was like able to buy that house.
The thing is like, I'm telling you, you cannot make me care about this man. Like,
but like I like ride for Brooke, so it's like
I am on Brooke's side. I also just like can't care that he's trying to like speak his side. You can't make me. Like, you can't make me care. Wait, also, I know Bailey's gonna have to leave soon, so like, Bailey, are there things you want to talk about?
Oh no, I feel like this is gonna be that situation is gonna be really interesting when they make the like documentary about it. That's how I can digest this information.
Right.
Yeah, I think you need it all laid out in front of you, and like
I need to have like a focus point like documentarians do, and it will be like hand fed to me because it sounds fascinating.
Yeah. It's so fascinating. It's just like I love like. I think the reason why I love the goss and the tea so much is like I'm fascinated by people's behaviors.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. Because this narcissistic behavior, obviously makes me think of Tyson, right? Which also made me think of, there were a couple times in Southern Charm where one of the characters, like for a huge example, when Naomi was dating the new guy, do you remember his name? Matul, and they were at some kind of coffee shop. She wanted, I think, like a Rice Krispie treat, and he was like, "No, this is diabetes. This is sugar. This is carbs, basically." And I told Bailey, I was like, "Oh my gosh, such a Tyson moment." Not wanting me to have orange juice with my mimosa because it's just a cup of carbs. And
crazy. That trip, like with Tyson, I literally came back. I remember being like, who the fuck is my sister dating?
But then it was like the beginning of the next season, we find out there were so many similar. I was like, oh my gosh, like, those people really, the parallels between people's behaviors are so similar.
Yeah, like, it's a pattern.
Patterns are patterns. It's why
patterns are patterns.
It's crazy. That's what they say, and it's true.
That's what they say. And it's true. What time are you leaving, Baily?
Really soon. 10 minutes max.
Interesting.
Anyways,
Wait, should we talk about what happened yesterday?
What happened yesterday?
really,
Oh, wait.
you know,
Politically?
I don't want to.
I mean, I don't even think it's like political. I think it's just like something
It's
that
a
happens.
No,
politician.
it's literally a
It could not be
political
more,
thing.
what would make it more political?
I mean, it's like I'm not debating whether like about gun control. I'm like, there was an attempted assassination. That's fucking crazy.
I was looking for a hint about what you were talking about and guessing if it was political, like it could not be more political.
I guess it is political, but it's also
What are you talking about?
but I'm not debating like a policy. You know what I mean?
Right. Obviously, what we're dancing around, what we're talking about is
like we're alive. You know, this is a question I don't know if Baily knows, but we obviously know of the successful assassinations.
Oh, I know this answer. The last unsuccessful assassination attempt of a president was 1981 Reagan. That's the last time. It was Teddy Roosevelt and Reagan. Like
that was my question. Is like
unprecedented times.
Those are the only two unsuccessful assassinations.
Well, that's just the ones from like the last however many years. I'm sure there was way more back in the day. But I just think it's so fucking nuts. And of course, everyone starts turning into like a political thing where it's like they have comments like in like if you're liberal and you're saying like any sort of like comments about it, it's like so fucking weird. And then also like the Republicans are like this ain't going to bring him down. Like,
yeah,
it's just like it's so like everyone acts insane.
The only thing that I have to say, and because I will not talk about politics, I just refuse to. However, I am surprised that these attempts don't happen more often. Like with presidents.
That's why it's so crazy because they literally go there. They make sure the entire area surrounding is secured. So the shit doesn't.
Didn't this happen from like really far away or something? You know what I mean? Yeah. And how do you even scope that?
Because they are trained people. They like know where to look for the like assassins. I had this instructor, this like not a gym instructor, what's it called, like workout class leader. He was like a retired army sergeant, and during COVID we would like all be working out in this like blacktop like playground kind of thing, and he would stop the class. He's like, all right, everyone look around you. Where would a sniper be stationed if he was trying to kill one of us? And I'm like, first of all, what? Second of all, I guess like over there. And he's like, no, wrong. Across the 405. That's where they're going to be.
That's wild. I mean, I'm glad there are people out there that know that.
But the Secret Service thinks like that. That's why they have all those places secured. Like none of those buildings are able to like have normal people in it. That's why it's just like the craziest fucking thing.
Okay,
ever.
well, that's why maybe I shouldn't say this. Maybe this is crazy, but like, I think that a lot of people that were going to support Trump are now like really incensed and are really like those pictures that like came from it are like, Jesus, this is gonna like really do it for him.
Well, also, Biden hasn't said anything, which is kind of crazy. Like, no matter your feelings on him, he was a former president.
Well, we also don't want anyone to be murdered. Like that is a bottom line that I can stand behind.
That's the thing. It's like you should probably say. Let me see if he said something yet. Did you guys watch the debate though? Like, I know Paige doesn't want to talk about politics, but
what I was gonna say that I like shouldn't say is, what if, just like that old lady in Southern Charm, what if this was a plant? Like, what if this was on purpose to get some like an added little boost or something, you know?
So if this is your conspiracy theory, who planted it? Are you saying it was like are you saying it was like Trump's team that was like, okay, we're gonna do this, but like we're only gonna get the ear?
Yeah.
So like, or okay, so you're saying
That's so crazy to say though, because someone like actually died.
Two people.
Two
That's
people.
really, really sad. And I haven't
Well,
looked.
the shooter died, and it wasn't two like civilians. One civilian died.
That's
I know.
horrible.
And the sniper died.
And someone else was critically injured.
It's just
It's really sad and scary. I mean, also just imagining the people who were around, like the fear that I can only like imagine that I would have being like in a room where that happens. Like I would be so scared.
Well, and like,
Yeah.
I already get nervous going to like big gatherings, and it's like I've had a lot of times going to a big thing like ACL, whatever, and what makes me feel better is like, okay, I've gone there and nothing has happened. So I know that there are plenty of times that I've been in a big group and everything's been fine. And to know that like now I've been in a big group and it's not, like, that's so scary and so bad that like so many people have had that kind of experience now, like freaks me out.
I know. It's fucking crazy. But I think that's like so wild, and I hope that doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Baily, where are you going tonight? Can you tell me?
I am going to dinner. Have you been to The Well?
Yeah.
It looks like a little more brunchy than dinnery, but I'm excited.
I've been there for dinner. It's like it's owned by the same people that own Devil May Care, Mayfair, all of that. They're actually friends with
I was gonna say you love those
Yeah.
places.
But it's like all so healthy.
Yeah. I saw that everything's like
I like that.
gluten-free, and
It's also owned by 1010. They own 1010
Cool.
too.
it looks like it's going to be good.
Did you go there because you're on like a health journey? Or
No, I
what?
was just looking at menus and thought that it looked pretty good.
Nice.
Mhm.
That's so exciting for you.
I know, I'm so excited. I love dinner.
And tonight,
What?
When are you going to leave this podcast?
Honestly, kind of any second now.
Are you Ubering?
No, I'm being picked up.
Oh, interesting.
and do you want to know what I'm doing for dinner?
What?
Okay, so since I'm stuck at home,
Wait, let me guess. Are you ordering?
no,
Even better.
Okay.
because my best friends, Smacky and Creston, she made these like lasagna roll-ups for lunch, and she said, I do not want leftovers. Can I drop these off at your house? And I said, yes, please. If you don't want leftovers, we will be your garbage disposals. So that is what I'm gonna have for dinner. So it's just really nice that, because the other thing that sucks is people have wanted to come over to check on Roman or something, but they can't because the dogs can't get excited. And it's just really kind that she still like has found a way to help out or something. She's like, oh, I'm just going to drop this food off at your house. I'm like, sweet. I love when I don't have to think about food, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to have for dinner.
I thought you were going to order BJ's.
No, I wish.
No.
You know what? Maybe that'll be my first meal outside of the house.
You're going to go to
Nice.
BJ's?
I was like,
and get a Pizookie.
Wow.
where is there even a BJ's?
Really close to our house.
Sunset Valley. Yeah.
I was trying to get Mr. Roberts to go to Chili's today. I almost had him.
I really have been craving some Chili's queso with their chips and ranch. Like, I just really want that combo. Ooh.
You know what I love more? So this is what I do at Chili's. I like to order their chips and salsa and ranch, obviously. Like, if you go to Chili's and you don't order their chips and salsa and ranch, like, why did you even go to Chili's? Like, that's why you go to Chili's.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get the enchilada soup, which you guys
know.
Yeah.
I love the enchilada soup, and I kind of use that as like more of the queso.
Yeah.
And I like that alone as a meal, but then I'll also obviously order the buffalo wings, because that's just like my first true love is the buffalo wings from Chili's. Like, literally, that's my first true love.
Wow. Should I,
Love that for you.
instead of going to the
Like,
well,
that's
should
where
we go
the-
to Chili's tonight?
Honestly, maybe. Like, I'm kind of like, wait, does Chili's deliver? Chili's is so good. Chili's is the Taco Bell of like that kind of like, what tier of dining would you call that?
Chili's is like the same as
Reliable.
Applebee's.
You know, any Chili's you go to is gonna be okay. You know, like you will be, even if it's the worst Chili's,
good.
it's gonna be fine.
In-house dining. You know, it's not fast food. Like,
yeah, it's like the step above fast casual. It's like Chili's, Applebee's, TGI Fridays, BJ's.
It's fast dining. Like,
yeah. And it's like and the last time I was there, I literally had the best experience. Like, you just order with a human, and then like whenever you're ready to go, you pay at this little thing that's like at your table, and you're like, you can actually even order more stuff if you want from that little thing.
Technology.
It's truly such an amazing experience. Like, I can't say enough good things about, like, if you're having a bad day, treat yourself to Chili's. It's like really like a $6 margarita. Like, how much better? Like, what else do you want?
Chili's, please sponsor this podcast so we can go get some $6 margaritas and chips and queso, ranch, and tortilla soup.
Honestly, like
enchilada soup.
A classic sirloin for $18.99. Like, where can you find that in the city? Literally.
I need to go.
Okay, bye.
See you later. I'll let you know if we go to the well or if we go to Chili's. We'll see.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Back?
Do you?
Now that it's gone.
Thank God. Just kidding. Do you want to like get into some listener? Like, didn't we have like questions? That we
Our
do last
listener
time?
story expert has just left the building.
I'm talking about you. You said that you had stuff that you wanted to talk about that was on the Instagram.
Interesting.
But that was too many weeks ago. Is that what you're telling me?
I think so. Like, I don't remember.
That's okay.
It's funny because like she will like randomly check our Instagram, but then sometimes she'll like
No, she doesn't. I don't think she checks the Instagram at all.
our email.
Oh yeah, no, I think she checks every time before we record.
Okay. I mean, there is that like juicy listener question.
What was it?
The one about my divorce. Should we save that one for the next one? My divorce. How it feels to be in a... Wait, actually, this is a good one for you and I to talk about. Okay. So this is from a girly. She says, "Hi, girls. As the oldest sister of 3 sisters, listening to your podcast is like being on the phone, listening to my sisters chat away. I love it so much. Thank you. My question for Jade specifically, as a girl who has also been divorced pretty young and experienced my fair share of toxic relationships post-divorce, I was wondering if you could give some details about how it felt / still feels to finally be in a healthy relationship and any of the struggles you went through as you adjusted to finally being loved in a healthy way." I feel like, okay, this is...
Are you going to cry?
No.
Okay. Like, no, it just like kind of like sounded like you were like kind of choking a second, like on one of your words.
No, but I feel like this is good for you and I to talk about because like when I first started dating Mr. Roberts, like he was so healthy that it really threw me off. Yeah, it was just like, wait, I don't understand. Like, you're saying you like me, but you're not ready to be my boyfriend yet. And like, you're still showing up like in a very healthy way. Like, that threw me off. It was really hard for me to like understand that.
Well, because I think that you not counting like small dates, like because you didn't really like, well, besides call it, that's literally whole other story. But I think honestly we're gonna loop him in there too. So it's like with Mark and with Colorado, like those were like your main. Obviously, you got divorced from Mark, and then your relationship with Colorado. You didn't have anyone else that was like a lot. You went on dates, but like that was. And I think with both of them, you had to constantly live your life in suspicion. So it's like with in different ways, but it was the same result. So with Mark, it was suspicious of his behaviors and using and all that kind of stuff. And with Colorado, it was like suspicious of like, do you like me? Yes.
Are you gonna dump me out of nowhere?
Oh, you like me this morning, but not this afternoon. Okay, like it was. You were constantly having to question what they said because they constantly lied to you.
Yeah.
And then you meet Mr. Roberts, he was so different. And I honestly was so glad that I could talk you down off the ledge sometimes
Okay.
in the beginning because I was like, this actually is normal.
Yeah.
You know, it's like hard for you. It's like he's saying this. He obviously must mean something else. And I was like, no, I think he actually means what he says. And you're like, what?
Well, also the thing, and I think you can vouch for me, like I'm not somebody that also like is super suspicious of people. Like I am not like the girl that's going through your phone. I'm not like thinking the worst in every situation. So it's like I like it's truly like a learned behavior that I've had to learn, unfortunately, which I kind of hate because like I'm a very trusting, loyal person. So the fact that I've had to be on my guard, like even now, I like when we get back from a trip, like I get nervous. I'm like, oh my gosh, like he needs a moment to decompress, so he like won't be like blowing up my phone. Not that he ever blows up my phone, but like I'm like, oh
It's
my
like,
god,
oh,
is
we
he
just spent like 2 weeks together. He needs a little like break. And you're like, does he still like me?
Yeah. And it's like that's the stuff that's been really hard to adjust. And I think if you are going through that, like definitely number one, probably find a therapist or a sister that has done a lot of therapy because I like needed and the thing that I think I did well was not making it his problem. Like I realized that this was just a me issue. Like there are some things that you do need to talk about, like hey, like I feel this type of way. Like, do you actually feel this? Like, and he was so like responsive and like would always make me feel better. But I knew a lot of my issues were just me. And I
Well,
think that's the thing that a lot of girls do is they make it the other person's problem.
the other thing that I think in your situation, it was like Mr. What the other thing that Mr. Roberts does very well is his actions, right? So it's like he backs up his words with his actions. People like you and I, we've been in relationships where people have said things that they don't follow through with their actions. That is like the pattern that we see that we're used to. So it's like that's what you're like ready to like get on the you're like preparing for.
Yeah.
But time and time again, at the beginning it's like, oh, he's following through on this action. That's weird, right? And then he's following through on the next one and the next one. And it's like, oh, this, and then that starts to be the new normal because that is healthy. And as weird as that learning curve is, I think for that's what you really needed to see
Yeah.
in your new, like when it was starting and it was a new relationship. And that's what, I mean, you guys both communicate really well together and you both follow through on the things that you say to each other. You guys follow through with your actions. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, as hard as it might be, like mentally to accept that you're in a healthy relationship, like if that person is following through with those healthy actions, then it's over time, like that will become like the learned behavior. It just takes a little time.
Yeah, for sure. Another problem I had at the beginning was like he was giving me a healthy amount of attention for someone that you just met. And I think that is another thing where it's like I really liked him. Like right away. I just was like, "Oh, I click with this person. He's like so cool. He's like so fun to be around." But like he would text me like once or twice a week, like a normal amount of time because like we're just getting to know each other. But I would also I think that's another thing that if you are used to dating toxic people, you're probably used to being love bombed in some sort of way.
Bomb.
Yeah. And so that was another thing. I was like, wait, does he like me? But I would like literally like 3 times a day, I would go on like a walk around the block. I was like, I just need to like get out of my head for a second and like talk it out to myself. So I'd be like, yeah, he likes you. You've known him for 3 weeks. He texts you once a week. You see him once a week. Like that's fine. Like it's not unnormal. It's not abnormal for that to happen. I feel like sometimes you see these relationships on TikTok or Instagram, YouTube, whatever, of people being like, "Oh my gosh, we've been dating for a month. This is my boyfriend." And it's like that's not always how people work. Like,
well, and that's actually where one of my
triggers.
Yeah, because I feel very uncomfortable now when somebody wants to occupy too much of my time, like in a given week. That's like a huge red flag to me because I was completely love bombed. And then it's like, because I was love bombed, I like got, it's like, here's the thing in my brain, the way a love bomb is, it's literally like one of those like gas things that you like, it's like a gas bomb that you throw down and it's like this love potion. And I got like, you know, like the gas, like I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so obsessed with Tyson.
Yeah.
And I was so afraid. I'm like, how do I not get back in that situation?
Yeah.
Because
it's intoxicating.
Yes. And so now it is a delicate balance. I have not been dating anyone for quite a while and I guess won't even be going on dates for another 3 weeks. But like when people are, if they want to hang out a couple times a week, I'm like, that's okay. If they want to hang out back to back to back days, I won't, because that's one too much for me energy wise anyways, with my work, with my dogs, like all that kind of stuff. But what I, in response, what I get sometimes is it's normal to want to hang out every day. Like it's you have issues that you need to work through if you think this is weird. And knowing me, what do you think I do? I immediately shut it down and I'm like, well, I'm not interested anymore because I think we want two different types of people. And I've known you for a week. So I think you don't deserve to occupy all of my time. And so it's not going to happen and see you never. You know what I mean? But it's like,
it's nice to like, I don't think seeing each other every single day, you're going to see more about this person. You're not going to learn anything any faster. I guess you kind of could, but like, I think it really does take time. Like it takes like time to see what this person's intentions are.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like a thing. I'm also not somebody who gets into a relationship very easily, like where it's like, I don't have like 6-month boyfriends. Like,
yeah, honestly, I'm really surprised I haven't been married and divorced before.
No, literally, like it's the weirdest thing that like I'm the one. I'm the like that's so something that like because you are the dater. It's like that's the craziest part is like you've always had a boyfriend. You've always been like the one who is always in relationships.
The long-term boyfriends. Like I have had like 4 boyfriends that I actually thought I was gonna marry. Like,
and I like had one.
Never been married.
I had one boyfriend.
You had your first boyfriend. You were like, wait, we're gonna get married.
Yeah. Like I don't even know if Colorado was like technically a boyfriend. He was just like a glorified boyfriend. Like he was really a situationship.
No, duh. Like he was like Jade, I'm sorry. That relationship truly still shocks me. The thing is, it's a joke. It wasn't like it was real. It really happened too.
No, it was
real. It really happened, but it was a joke of a relationship because and
no, everyone was like, when is she going to stop?
And it's like, that's why I book on Southwest. So I can cancel my flights. I was like, that's a weird way to view it. Okay. Like that was a weird response. Like that
was, I think everyone was waiting for me to have like a mental breakdown after my divorce. And like, that was my mental breakdown.
That was pre-therapy, Paige. And I remember where we were in Venice Beach.
Yeah.
And I remember like sitting down at this restaurant and that was the response. And I just remember being like, that's weird. Like I need to make a note of that because I wish I knew how to like respond in that situation the way I would now, because I was just like, I think I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. Like, Oh, okay.
No, she's talking about because I had a trip planned to go see this person.
You were leaving like the next day.
No, I was leaving literally that week. Like it was crazy. And I was like, hey, and I hadn't heard from him in 1 week. And he was like, and I was like, hey, like, are we still like down for me to go see you? Like we've talked about. And he was like, yeah, actually, no, like I have a lot of stuff going on with work and it's like just really stressful right now. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then I like told my sisters, but I was like literally crushed.
Yeah, and I was like, isn't that really rude that he didn't tell you? You haven't talked to him in a week, and he wasn't going to tell you until you asked if it was okay if you could still come because you had this flight booked, and it was probably like you got the notification like check into your flight, and like, and then you thought, let me just check with him real quick to make sure this is still happening. And I was like, don't you think that's rude? And you were like, no, that's why I booked Southwest.
Yeah, that's why I booked Southwest. So I can just now I'm going to use this credit's going to be in my account.
Like that is one of the comments. Like if we were on a Bravo reality show, like that is the line that everyone would like cling to. That's why I booked Southwest.
No, it's so true. But it is that like intoxicating, like love bombing situation where they are so obsessed with you, then they like take all of the obsession away, then they bring it back, take it back. So you are just like chasing that high. And that was like, that situation was probably the most toxic, even out of my divorce.
Yeah, your divorce was like such a different type of
toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, okay. And I think I had more people on my side for my divorce. Because like everyone's like, oh wow, this like happened to you. And then like with Colorado, this was like, oh, you let this happen to you.
Yeah.
No one was like, everyone was like, yeah, we could have told you this.
Well, that's the thing. It's like we were always going to be on your side, but like I was going to be like, that was stupid. Like
it was really stupid. But thank God we met Mr. Roberts. He's like such a gem. He
is such a gem.
And he literally will like, not that I'm super toxic or I do super toxic things, but like anytime I do something, he's like, that's toxic. I'm like, you're right.
And I just think it goes to, I don't know. I just think that there are like the whole like not settling thing. I think you, to be honest, like did get lucky with Mr. Roberts because I think that like the things that you were looking for right off the bat, like yes, he checked those boxes, but then once you continued to like date him, there's just like so many more things about that you couldn't have known in the dating process, you know what I mean? That where you just like really lucked out. Like it's really lucky that he has like such a good relationship with his family and that his family is like so kind to you and to us. Like it's like there's other things where you just got lucky, but
totally,
you know.
No, I feel guilt, a lot of guilt with like how like I lucked out.
Okay, well, you shouldn't feel guilty.
Guilty. I just do.
I think you just be like thankful, you know?
I'm grateful. I'm very grateful, but I'm also like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, like I literally got lucky. Like, how did I meet this person? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, but don't feel like guilty about it.
Guilty. Well, it's like I want everyone to find a Mr. Roberts. Like I want you to find your own Mr. Roberts.
I do too. Honestly, like I go through, well, especially because I'm in like a depression like stage right now, like laying in my bed with my cross stitch and my 2 dogs. I was several times have had the realization or the thought of like, whoa, like this might be my life. This like
well, I'm a little bit more like resilient when it comes to dating, where it's like I can put up with a lot more shit than you can. Like you need to protect your peace a little bit more. Whereas like I just like rapid fire dated. Yeah. I got my reps in a little bit more, I think, than you.
I'm very intentional with my dating.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that. I think what has stressed me out is like especially in I had turned my Hinge back on, and I was on Hinge, I think, for like 4 or 5 days when Roman severed his like spinal cord, and I was there was 2 people that I was messaging, and I was like, oh, I think I'm probably like gonna go on a couple dates, you know what I mean? And then this happened. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna turn this back off until I'm able to leave my house again, because what I'm not gonna do is be like a pen pal with someone for 6 weeks. No. Like,
makes no sense.
but what I'm also worried about is once I'm able to leave the house again, that I'm gonna rapid fire like I've done in the past, like date, and then burn myself out too fast, and then I'm like done for another like year. So
I think you just do like 1 to 2 dates a week.
I think I'll start with like 1 date a week and just.
I think the best date night is like a Tuesday or Wednesday. And then you go somewhere easy. You have 1 drink. I would just be like, I'm just meeting you for a drink. Like, I'm not doing dinner. I'm not going to exhaust. I'm not going to waste a meal on you.
Well, it depends on the meal.
Huh?
It depends on the meal.
Yeah, like if you're paying and it's like a really good meal, then yes. But yeah, that was kind of my thing. I was like, oh, I'll just do like, so it was easier to process in my mind, because I think like if you've never been on the dating apps, like that getting in your car, you're like, I don't want to go.
No, it's almost every single time I get in my car and I'm like, I regret agreeing to this date. Should I cancel? Should I just turn back around? Should I ghost this person? And then I literally I always start with Cruel Summer. I turn on Cruel Summer, and it's like my comfort song. So then I feel at ease, and then I Taylor songs, because like that's, again, it's like that is my comfort zone without being in my house. That's what puts me calms my nerves. And then I somehow, it sounds losery, but I am really weird. Like, no matter whatever situation I'm in, wherever I'm going, I get this weird anxiety where I get so nervous that like sometimes to walk into the building, and I have to like talk myself into like, if it's really worst case scenario, I drove here and I can leave.
Yeah.
Like that's the worst case. Like, I hate feeling trapped, and or my phone's fully charged, I can walk out of here and call an like I just need to be in control of like being able to leave a situation. Yeah, the exit is like what comforts me. So it's like comforting on the way there, the Taylor Swift, knowing I can leave at any point, because like I think I've only left a date 1 time because it was like not good. But like otherwise I'm like, I can stick it out and just be like, oh, that was like not a good date.
Yeah.
Like,
I think there's a difference between like not like a bad date and then just like, that's not my person.
There was one time I was on a date and he was so repulsive in the first 12 minutes. I literally looked at him and I was like, are we going to keep going at it like this, or do you want to turn this date around, because I'm about to leave? And he was so he was so out of pocket so fast. And I was like, I'm not going to do this. Like, so we can either turn this around now if you promise to stop talking about this, or I'm just going to leave right now.
What were you talking about?
I think we were talking about you. I swear to God. We were talking about you. We were talking about your divorce. Well, because he didn't know I was talking about you. He young people getting divorced.
Uh-huh.
And his viewpoint on it was just like, basically like someone like you would be like so in the wrong, and it's like so pathetic and embarrassing to like get married and then be divorced in less than 5 years and like whatever. And I was like, I just think that without knowing everyone's like reason for divorce, we just exchanged names. Hi, I'm Paige. Hi, you're so and so. We just ordered a drink. Like, why are we talking about marriage and divorce anyways? And so my comment was, I just think that without knowing everyone's situation, it's probably like kind of hard to judge. And he said, no, not at all, actually. It's really not. It's very easy to judge because, like, it's just wrong. And I was like, well, I was like, and in that moment, like, this again was like the therapy in me. It was like, you could decapitate this man, or you can use your words to say that you don't want to talk about this anymore and that you're uncomfortable and that you're gonna leave unless we stop talking about this. Because like what I don't need to do is like go into like your divorce story and like give all the background for like why I just said maybe you just should, maybe you don't know everyone's like reasoning for things.
Yeah.
And so I said what I said. I was like, are we gonna keep talking about this? Because if we are, I'm gonna leave. Or we can turn the state around and if you stop talking about it and we can start over. And he was like, oh, really? Okay, well, yeah, let's turn the state around. I was like, cool, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And when I come back, we're going to pretend like this never happened.
I feel like you're talking about like Tiger or Roman.
Jade, it was wild. Like, he was getting so heated, which was like really like, it makes me want to just like puff out my chest. I was like, be a lady. Be a lady, be a lady. But I was like, I'm about to blow a casket if I do. What?
You're like sitting on your hands.
I'm like sitting on my hands, and I was just like, I said it the nicest way that I could, but I said it exactly how I was like, we can turn the state around, or we can talk. Like, I'm leaving. And he was like, no, I don't want you to leave. Anyways.
That's so fucking funny. Well, I feel like this was a really good episode.
I think it was too. Everyone.
Look at the baby. He said, what are we doing?
He says, Mom, is it time for my next steroid?
Mommy, can I have my medicine?
I love my medicine because I love cheese.
Okay, well, tell the girlies where they can find us.
Hey, girlies, sisters. You can find us. Please write in any stories, any questions, anything you want advice about to yourpoordad at gmail.com. Obviously, rate the episode 5 stars, and then you can give us some feedback. I love when you guys do that. It's honestly quite hilarious to me. And then make sure you follow.
Paige likes it because you guys always talk shit about me.
It's funny. Actually, it's funny until it's not, and then I just get pissed. But I'm like, it's like, I can talk shit about Jade, but no one else can.
Yeah, like, we like are making fun of Jade because we're her sisters, like, and now you're taking
you like someone like I can make fun of Baily, no one else can make fun of Baily. Like, you guys can make fun of me, but like no one else can make fun of me because either I'll handle it or you guys will. You know what I mean? But it's like,
I don't like need you talking about shit about my sister to me. Like, that's weird.
Yeah. Anyways, and make sure to follow us at Your Poor Dad Pod on Instagram and TikTok, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.